Hello students, welcome to the second lecture of file handling. In this lecture we are going to cover three topics which are operations on files. So we are going to discuss various operations performed on files. Another topic is various access modes on files, and the third topic is file object attributes. So we'll start with the operation on files. So the operations on files are classified into basic 6 categories. The first operation is open. So whenever we are we are dealing with file handling or operations on file handling, we need to open the file which exists in our system. The another operation is read operation. This is also known as read method. So once we have opened the file, if we want to read the content written in a file, so we are going to perform the read operation. The third operation is write operation. So before performing the write operation, you need to open the file. It is just same as if you want to write something into your word file, so you need to go to the word file and then you need to open the file, and then only you are going to read the content into the file or write the content into the file. This is the same thing we are going to perform here in the Python programming. So to write content into the file, you need to open the file and then only you will be able to write the content into the file. Okay, so after opening the file, after performing all the operations of the file, you need to close the file. Why we need to close the file? It is a must thing you need to do, because whenever we are performing file operations, these operations contain contain various resources and access memory locations into your computer's memory. So to free up those memories for other operations or other programs, you need to close the file. Okay, the next operation is delete operation. If you want to delete the existing file stored in your system which you are not using, you are going to perform remove function to delete that file. And the last operation is rename operation or rename method. Whenever you want to rename the existing file in your system, you are going to use rename method. Okay, the next thing is file access mode. The access mode determines the mode in which the file has to be opened. That is read, write and append. Okay, this is optional parameter and the default file access mode is read mode. Why we are saying that default file access mode is read mode? If you have forgot to mention the access mode in your file or in your program, it will take the default mode, which is read mode. Okay, so we have categorized the access mode into 3 categories. The first category is read, another category is write, and the third category is append. Okay, every category has its four different access modes. So firstly we are going to discuss the read access mode. So in read we have R, RB, R plus and RB plus. The R mode is also known as the reading mode. This mode is used to open a file for reading only. So whenever you are writing R in your file, so it will open the file in read mode only, and the file pointer is placed at the beginning of the file. Okay, this is the default mode in your programming language. The next mode is RB mode. This access mode opens a file for reading only in binary format. So RB stands for reading only in binary format. Okay, the file pointer is again placed at the beginning of the file, and it is also considered as a default mode. The next mode is R plus mode. This access mode opens a file for both reading and writing. Means whenever you want to read as well as write into the file, you are going to use R plus mode. Okay, so whenever you are going to use R plus mode, this access mode opens your file for both reading and writing. The next mode is RB plus mode. This access mode again opens a file for both reading and writing, but in binary format. Okay, so the file pointer is placed at the beginning of the file. The next mode is write mode. In write mode, again we have categorized this mode into 4 types: W, W plus, WB and WB plus. So firstly we will discuss the W mode. This file format, whenever we are going to open the file into W mode, so this mode opens a file for writing only, which means if you want to write something into your file, you are going to open your file into write mode. It otherwise basically it overwrites the file if the file already exists, and If the file does not exist, it creates a new file for writing. So suppose I have created a file named hello.txt and I want to write something into the file, and there is something already written into the file. So whenever I am going to perform W mode on the file, it will overwrite the content in the file which is already exist. And suppose I'm opening a file hello.txt which does not exist in my system, so it will create a new file called hello.txt. Okay, the next mode is WB. This file format, access mode opens a file for writing only in binary format. Okay, it again overrides the file if the file already exists, and if the file does not exist, it creates a new file for writing. The next mode we have is W plus mode. This access mode opens a file for both reading and writing. If the file exists, it overrides the file, and if the file does not exist, it creates a file. But again, the most important thing is that it opens the file in both read and write mode. So whenever you are using W plus, it will allow you to read the file as well as to write the file. Okay. The next mode is WB plus mode. This file access mode opens a file for both reading and writing in binary format. Again, this allows you to read and write file in both binary for both reading and writing in binary format. Okay, and again it overrides the file if the file is already exist. Otherwise, it creates a new file for reading and writing. The third and last mode is append mode. Again, append is categorized into 4 categories. So first thing is A mode. This access mode opens a file for appending, which means in this the file pointer is at the end of the file, and whenever you want to write something into the file, it will append into the file, which means if the file does not exist, it creates a new file for writing, and if the file exists, it append the content into the file. Append the content into the file means it will not overwrite the content, it will append into the file. Okay. The next mode is AB mode. AB mode, this access mode opens a file for appending in binary format. This file pointer is in this file the pointer is at the end of the file. If the file exists, it will open the file in append mode, and if the file does not exist, it creates a new file for writing. The next mode is A plus mode. This access mode opens a file for both appending and reading as well. Okay, so in this mode, if you are going to open the file in this mode, so it will allow you to open the file for writing or appending or reading as well. The next mode is AB plus mode. This access mode opens a file for both appending and reading in binary format. The file pointer is at the end of the file. If the file exists, the file opens in append mode. Okay. If the file does not exist, it creates a new file for reading and writing. Okay. The next thing we are going to discuss is file object attribute. So once a file is successfully opened, a file object is returned. Okay, so whenever we are opening a file, we return a file object. Okay, using this file object, you can easily access different types of information related to that file. Here we are going to discuss 3 types of file attributes. The first is file.closed, another one is file.mode, and the third one is file.name. So file object is nothing but a variable in which you store all the information related to your file and all the operations which you are performing on the file. So the first one is a file object.close method. So this attribute returns true if the file is closed, otherwise it returns false. So if you have closed the file, it will return true, and if you have not closed the file, it will return false. The next access mode is, the next attribute is file.mode. So basically this will return access mode with which file is opened. Okay, so basically it will tell you the mode in which you have opened your file. The last one is file name. So this will return the file name. So whatever name you have provided in your file, you are going to use this. So file object is your variable, and these are the file object attributes which you write when you open a file. Thank you so much, everyone.